see a lot of sprayed edges on Etsy selling for $30 a pop, and I think they're very pretty. They're definitely made by very talented and creative people, but then my narcissistic self told myself that I had the same talent, that I would be able to recreate any of the things that I see on Etsy. So I decided to spend $27 on a paint set that included brushes, an oil canvas, and like a whole set of oil paint colors. And then I bought clamps that you use to like clamp for home projects so that you can super glue things, or you could do drilling and things like that. It's just home hardware stuff. And I was like, get me a bottle of paint and get me a cup of water and get me the brushes, and I can get going with this new creative project. I used to do book journaling, or I used to do journaling in general, but then I stopped because it was just too much work and I ran out of ink for my color printer, and I was like, okay, well, that's the end of that project. It's a long forgotten hobby now, so I thought to myself, why not start another hobby where I can throw money at it and then regret it instantly. So you will be seeing me instantly regretting painting my book. So when I first had an idea for this video, I thought that I was going to be very aesthetically pleasing. I thought I was going to make a very soothing, calming video for you guys all, but it quickly turned downhill from here. Basically, I opened this package, which I thought was a really good package for $30. I got all these things. I got a paint set, I got some tools that I don't know if I'll ever use, and I got some canvases, and I got a set of brushes. I thought that this was the best deal ever until later on I'll show you, and I took a closer look at the quality of the products I got. So here I am showing you the tools that you would need. Once again, this is not an instructional video. Do not follow my instructions. I beg of you that if you love your books, to just Google instructions on how to spray your edges and maybe watch better YouTube videos instead of this one, where I will entitle it as How I Ruined My Book. And I think this is where I realized that the quality of the package was not good. As you can tell, these brushes are looking a little crusty. They're a little sealed shut with glue. They're very hard, and I felt like I needed boiling hot water to wash away the casing that it had on these bristles, because they were just so hard. Anyways, I needed something to put the paint on, and I just found a scrap of paper lying next to my desk. As you can tell, like, I didn't really care what I was going to use. I just wanted to paint now. I was very excited, actually, when I was filming this video. I was just very excited to show off everybody that I am talented, gifted, and amazing. And I will show you right now that I'm not. So I'm mixing the paint, trying to find a lighter red color so that it'll match the cover better. And then I am clamping the book. And to be honest, I was like very nervous that these clamps would actually damage the book. I think like what's the worst thing that could happen is that if the project turned out really well, but then I ended up damaging the cover of the book because the clamps were just too sharp or too tight on the book itself. And then here we are. This is where I paused and thought to myself, like, am I really doing this? Am I really painting this book? And I kept going because I thought, you know what? It's not that bad right now. I just need a lot more paint is what's running through my head right now. And I was nervous that I wasn't going to have enough paint for the whole book. I knew I wanted to do a design, but I didn't know what design I wanted to make. But I think at least like the bare minimum, I had to paint the whole spine one certain color. And I think like one of the issues that I had with this project particularly is that there was like a lot of little white gaps everywhere, and I didn't want to paint over it and possibly paint the cover page and like the back page, because then I knew that that was going to be super messy and gross. Anyway, so I didn't want to spend the whole video talking to you guys about how I'm ruining my books, but I wanted to talk to you about some novellas that I've been rereading recently and reading that has, kept me entertained. I know Alexa Riley is banned from Amazon, but I just read Alexa Riley either on Apple Books or on Kobo because I just miss them a lot. They were like my favorite novella author out there, and I read this series called Stolen to Love, Stolen to Keep, and Stolen to Remember, and honestly, those books are so good. They are featuring 3 best friends, I believe, or 3 brothers, I forget, that own a private island, and they bring 3 girls to the island, and they each have their own like romantic trope. There was one that was enemies to lovers, there was ones that was friends to lovers, and then there was one that was like insta love, and then they fell in love, but she had amnesia, so she didn't remember him, and then it was just like this whole dramatic affair, but highly recommend you check it out. And then I also read some Casey Mint books that I gave 5 out of 5 stars to. They were so good, they were so heartwarming, so sweet. So I read Runaway Bride, Woke Up Wed, Mail Order Vow, and Fake Fiance. So I gave Fake Fiance, Woke Up Wed, and Runaway Bride 5 out of 5 stars, but then Mail Order Vow, I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. You can pretty much just kind of like imagine what the books are about by just looking at the title or like listening to the title. But anyways, back to what I'm doing right now. I'm actually on Pinterest just looking at inspirations of what I'm doing, and then this is where I thought, okay, I'm gonna go paint some stars on my book. And then that's when I also quickly realized that I do not have the tools and equipment to paint very delicate, dainty little stars on my book, and I'm just making white splotches on my spines now, and I'm upset. I'm shaking with rage, but you can't see it because my face is off camera, but I start questioning my life existence at this point. And I was like, I can continue making splotches and say to people that they're stars, or I can try to do a very general design, which is an ombre design. So this is where you're going to see me try to really rough it out with blending this white and this red and trying to make an ombre pinkish color that I had fully faith in, that if I just kept blending hard enough, it'll look the way that I wanted. Excited to read this one because I saw it blow up on Instagram, and I trust Instagram more than BookTok. But then I should have probably researched more because I think it's trending on BookTok, and then that's why it's trending on Instagram. And I did not like the book. I, in fact, really hated it. I DNF'd at 30%, and I kept rolling my eyes because the author just info dumped a lot of the times. We literally met the whole hockey team in one sitting at one point. I didn't know any of these people, but I was expected to know who these people were, and I tried to like gloss over it and try to skim through it because I really don't care about all the hockey players, but then I realized that maybe I should because it's the series and I'm pretty sure every character will have a story of their own. So I don't know, it was just very frustrating. And then I also didn't like the dynamic that our heroine had. Basically, she had a friends with benefits with her best friend, but then she also wanted to date our hero. That was super confusing. Anyways, this is me cleaning out my book because I realized that paint was all over my hand because paint was all over the book. And that's the end of this video. I did not film an outro. I did not rip apart the pages for you guys because I just knew that it wouldn't separate. In fact, right now it's still clamped and the book is still in my corner of the room and I'm probably gonna throw it away. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you guys again next time in a new one.